UFC Fight Night, Abu Dhabi, the Ridder versus Whittaker. Quick picks, quick predictions. You boys already know. Next weekend, we're going back to Abu Dhabi. Of course, they have an absolutely stacked fight night. The most stacked fight night. They always have the most stacked fight night. You know, in Abu Dhabi, they get whatever they want. So we're going to break down this entire card. I'm going to give you my quick picks, my quick predictions. Before we go ahead and get into it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's start it off with the early prelim opener of Davy Grant versus Damon Blackshear. Opens up this fight night. Already a great fight. I mean, this is if you know MMA, you know UFC. This is a great fight. This is a great matchup. We love dangerous Davy Grant. Always brings a solid scrap. He's getting up there in age, but he still brings a solid fight. And Damon Blackshear's been on a decent streak so far. He was close to getting into the rankings. He got knocked out in like 15 seconds, but now he's on a little streak. I think it's a 3-fight win streak now, 2 by sub, 1 by decision. He's on a little streak, but Davy Grant is a tough test, man. He is nearing the end of his career. He is around 30. I think he's 38, 39. He's getting up there in age. And Damon Blackshear's the young, hungry dog. He's going to be the favorite in this fight. I am going to lean Damon Blackshear as the early quick pick, but Davy Grant's dangerous. You know, he is dangerous. He always brings a scrap. And he's tough to put out. I don't think Damon Blackshear is going to be able to knock out Davy Grant. I think it's going to be tough to sub Davy Grant. I think this will go the distance, but if there is a finishing upside, I think it's going to be on Damon Blackshear's side. Obviously, Davy Grant does have some sneaky power. He could put Damon Blackshear on his ass, put him out, but early pick, I'm going to go Damon Blackshear by decision. I think younger, faster, on a decent little streak right now. His striking is getting a lot better. He just showed off his striking in his last fight, and he looked pretty clean. He looked pretty sharp. People were kind of looking at him as just a BJJ nerd, but his striking has leveled up. I think he's going to show it in this fight. So give me Damon Blackshear as the quick early pick for this fight. We move on to the next fight, Muhammad Yahya versus Stephen Nguyen. No idea who Stephen Nguyen is, to be honest, but Muhammad Yahya is a bum. I'm sorry. You know, Abu Dhabi, the Arab Emirates don't have any good prospects. They don't have any good fighters, so it is sad to see Muhammad Yahya just be such a bum, but he just is, man. He's not good. His chin is bad. His striking is weak. Stephen Nguyen, haven't seen anything really on him. I'm going to have to watch a little bit of tape, but I know he's going to be better than Muhammad Yahya, no matter what the case is, even just looking at the records, looking at the height, and I'm just going off picking against Muhammad Yahya. Always works out, so give me Stephen Nguyen. I'm going to say by KO, honestly. I don't know if he's got that power, but Muhammad Yahya, like I said, just doesn't have a chin. So give me the quick pick of Stephen Nguyen in this fight. We move on to the next fight. Martin Buday versus Marcus Buchecha. Buchecha, man. I'm going Martin Buday. They're bringing in this guy from another promotion, Marcus Buchecha. No idea who he is, to be honest. But Martin Buday is a solid heavyweight. He's a solid heavyweight in the rankings, man. And people doubt Martin Buday, but this guy's 15-2. He's on a decent win streak. He's solid everywhere. His grappling is good. His defense is pretty solid. His striking is so-so. He is just a fat heavyweight, but he's actually got some skills. He's actually got some potential at heavyweight. Obviously, I don't see him making it past the top 10, but I do see him holding down the fort here and getting a decision or a submission win. I could see him holding down Marcus Buchecha. I'm not even going to say his last name, and finding a submission, man. I could see him finding an arm triangle. I could see him finding an arm bar even, or something to do with the arm. He's good at wrapping up with the arms. The arm chokes on the ground. I could see Martin Buday finding a submission win in this fight. So give me Martin Buday as the quick pick. I'll look into Marcus Buchecha, but I'm going to lean Martin Buday as the quick pick here. We move on to the next fight, Aslan versus Billy Elekana. I believe both these guys were on the same card in their last fights. Aslan got subbed by Ion Kutalaba, and Billy Elekana got subbed by Bogdan Guskov? Yeah, I think it was Bogdan Guskov. Actually, no, of course I remember it was Bogdan Guskov because I had a 10-leg parlay. A 10-leg parlay. Everything was hitting. Everything was cashing. Actually, it was UFC 310. Of course I remember this shit. I'm like, okay, give me Bogdan Guskov by KO. What does he do? He beats down on Billy Elekana for 5 minutes, beats him down, is about to KO him, and then crouches down and goes for a squat guillotine and subs Billy Elekana. I've never crashed out more. Biggest waste of a $20 to $500 parlay I've ever seen in my entire life. But besides that point, give me Aslan. I don't like Billy Elekana. He's not good. He shouldn't be at light heavyweight. This guy should be a middleweight. Honestly, he's not big for light heavyweight. He's very small for light heavyweight. Aslan, very big. He's got power. I think he's going to knock out Billy Elekana. He's not going to mess around, not going to let Billy Elekana get him to the ground like Bogdan Guskov did. Billy Elekana can find a submission. He can get you to the ground, but he couldn't find that sub on Bogdan Guskov. Even though Ebo got subbed in his last fight, I think Ebo's bigger. He's more powerful. I think he's going to strike right off the get-go. He's going to walk Billy Elekana down and try to find a big finish early, and I think he will do that because Billy will crumble early on to big shots. He crumbled against Bogdan Guskov, but of course, Bogdan had to go for the sub. I'm still pissed about that, but forget about it. Give me Ibo Aslan. Early KO. I'm saying 30 seconds to a minute into the first round. Ibo Aslan pushes him up against the fence and just beats him down. Beats him to a piss, man. Beats him to a piss against the fence. Give me Ibo Aslan as the quick pick by KO. We move on. Muslim Salikhov versus Carlos Leal. This is low-key a good fight. This is a sleeper fight. I like this one. Muslim Salikhov, always been a fun striker. Always been a solid striker. He is getting up there in age. He's like 39, 40 years old now. But coming off of one of his best highlight KOs of all time in his last one with the spinning wheel kick KO over, who was it? I think it was in China. Yeah, it was in China. A nasty spinning wheel kick. That was a shocking KO. That shocked me, but nasty. He's got that nasty spinning wheel kick in his bag, and he landed it flush. And, it was Song Kanon. Put Song Kanon on his butt, completely unconscious. Nasty KO by Muslim Salikhov in his last fight. And Carlos Leal got that nice finish over, who was it? Oh my goodness, man. It's one of the bums at welterweight. But it was a good finish. It was the finish that he needed to get after his loss to Rinat Fakhretdinov, which he arguably won. He got robbed in that fight. And he is on all the juices. Carlos Leal, somehow, I don't know how this guy gets by being on all the juices, but he does. He's got a solid chin, really big power. He marches you down, throws big bombs, and I think he's going to knock out Muslim Salikhov, who is just getting up there in age, unfortunately. Carlos Leal, big power, on all the Brazilian juices. I don't see him losing this fight unless Muslim Salikhov, like I said, lands that picture-perfect spinning wheel kick or, a check hook or something that just catches Carlos Leal off guard. But I think Leal's chin is good enough. His power is going to be there, and I think he's going to march Muslim Salikhov down and find a finish in round one. Give me Carlos Leal, round one KO as the quick pick. We move on to the next fight, Amanda Ribas versus Tabitha Ricci, the only WMMA fight on this card. Solid fight as well. Good matchmaking here. Tough lean. I am early lean going to give it to Tabitha Ricci because last time we had a Tabitha Ricci fight where it went close, the decision always goes to her. I think this is going to be a close fight where there's a decision, where it's not going to be an obvious one like her last fight where she lost to, who was it? Oh my goodness. I'm bad with names. I'm so bad with names. If you guys know me, I'm so bad with names. Her last fight was a beatdown. She got beat down. She wasn't able to touch up her opponent. She wasn't able to impose her game at all. But against Amanda Ribas, who is on a bit of a loss streak, hasn't looked good in her last couple fights, I think Tabitha Ricci is just going to walk her forward and go, ha, 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 and land like 1 out of 20 of those punches that she throws in combination, and the judges are just going to give her that fight. So give me Tabitha Ricci by decision. Unfortunately, I think this is going to be the worst fight on the card. I just don't know how Tabitha Ricci gets away with some of these decisions, but it is what it is. Give me Tabitha Ricci by decision as the early pick. We move on. Nikita Krylov versus Bogdan Guskov as the prelim main event. I do believe this is going to be moved to the main card, which I'll get into in a second, but early lean, I'm going to go Bogdan Guskov. Nikita Krylov did not look good in his last fight against Dominic Reyes, but obviously Dominic Reyes is top of the line. This guy's, a former champion, beat John Jones, former champion, right? So Nikita Krylov got slept bad. He got slept bad, was rushing in with his head up in the air, just, diving in like that, got caught with Dominic Reyes' beautiful left check hook that he always lands. Is nasty. I don't know what Nikita Krylov was thinking. Got caught, got put to sleep. But Nikita Krylov's coming off injuries. He didn't look good in his last fight. Got slept really bad. And Bogdan Guskov's been training with Walter Walker. He's been training with Sergey Pavlovich. He's been training at that good gym out there. I believe it's in where's he from again? Uzbekistan. I believe it's out in Uzbekistan, and he's been training with a really good camp. He's been looking good in his last couple fights. Obviously lost early on in his career to Volkan Ozdemir by sub. So I do think Nikita Krylov's only path to victory here is to get this fight to the ground, find a submission, which, don't get me wrong, he could do, because Billy Elekana did take down Bogdan Guskov and almost subbed them in round one. But I'm going to trust that Bogdan Guskov's been training that ground game a lot. His striking's already there. His power is there. He needs to train the ground game with Walter Walker, right? And I think he's going to have a good game plan coming in here to stuff the takedowns, stay safe on the ground, and then when it gets to the feet, just piece up Nikita Krylov and find that finish. I'm going to go Bogdan Guskov, round 2, KO, check hook, drops Nikita Krylov and finishes him on the ground as the quick pick. We move on to the main card. This is not the fight happening here. The UFC website sucks absolute ass. It's Asu Almabayev. Ramazan Temirov pulled out. It is now going to be who is it? Jose, oh my, I was about to say Jose Delgado. No, he fought Jose Ochoa. Jose Ochoa. So it's Asu Almabayev versus Jose Ochoa. Short notice. Ramazan Temirov had to pull out due to injury, I believe. Asu Almabayev, obviously good grappler, good wrestler. Lost his last fight to Manel Kape in the main event at the Apex. He got TKO'd against the fence. There was some eye pokes going on. It was a little bit weird, but Asu Almabayev was playing it a little bit too. He's playing a little bit too much into the eye pokes, I feel. Even though it should have been stopped before he got TKO'd, that was a questionable finish. I do think that fight was, a little bit cheaty by Manel Kape, but that's just what he does, man. So it is what it is. Asu Almabayev got finished. And Jose Ochoa got a nice finish over Cody Durden in his last fight at UFC Atlanta. Nice TKO up against the fence. Finished him badly. I think it was round 2. Finished him really badly. Nice, clean TKO early round 2. And this is a step up for Jose Ochoa for sure. He's a very good striker, very clean finisher, young in his career, but I do think it's a bit too soon. I think Asu Almabayev is just going to wrestle him, to be honest. I don't see Asu Almabayev trying to strike with Jose Ochoa. If he does try to strike with Ochoa, I think Ochoa will outstrike him. But that would just be a stupid game plan from Asu Almabayev. He should have grappled with Manel Kape more. He struggled to get those takedowns, struggled to close the distance on Manel Kape. And that could be the case here against Jose Ochoa. But I don't think Ochoa is going to land those clean combinations as much as Manel Kape was. And I don't think he's going to be eye-poking him like Manel Kape was. So give me Asu Almabayev by decision, just by wrestling him, chain wrestling for 3 rounds. I think that's going to be his game plan going in here if he wants to get back in the win column. So give me Asu Almabayev as the quick pick, not against Ramazan Temirov, against Jose Ochoa. We move on, though, to the next fight. Magomedov versus Marc-Andre Barriault. Every time they go to Abu Dhabi, Magomedov is going to be on the main card. Let's just be honest. It doesn't matter if he's winning his past fights or if he's on a 3-fight losing streak. I feel like he'll be on the main card. Lost his last fight against MVP. I picked Magomedov to win. Stupid of me. I should have known Magomedov with a blind eye. Trying to fight a karate stance fighter was not going to age well, but I regret that. Anyways, Magomedov is getting a bit of a layup in Marc-Andre Barriault. I do love Marc-Andre Barriault. I really, really do. The quick pick's obviously going to be Magomedov. Even though he lost his last fight, we're in Abu Dhabi. He's given a bit of a layup where he's going to be able to get his striking off clean on Marc-Andre Barriault, who does shell up and does have difficulty to close the range and does have a questionable chin, right? Like this is a setup. I hate that the UFC is doing this, but this is a setup. I watched Marc-Andre Barriault live when he finished Bruno Silva and got back in the win column in Montreal. That was amazing. It was an amazing moment. And I do want to pick Marc-Andre Barriault very badly. I might bet on him just because I love Marc-Andre Barriault, but I don't see him winning this fight. I do think Magomedov will find a finish in round 2. I think round 1 is going to be somewhat close. If Marc-Andre can close the distance, can grapple with him and clinch him up on the fence, Magomedov is a bit weak there. He is weak there. He isn't able to back up and hold his own against the fence. So if Marc-Andre can do what he did against Bruno Silva, which was push him up against the fence, land elbows, land shots to the body, land upstairs, he may be able to get a finish. He may be able to get some shots off and do some real damage, win some minutes, but I don't think he'll be able to close that distance and hold Magomedov on the fence for long enough, and I don't think he'll be able to grapple too heavy with So give me Magomedov as the quick pick by KO in the second round. Some crazy, probably 1-2 or right or left hook is going to drop Marc-Andre Barriault and finish him. He's been flatlined so many times, so I hate to see it, but Magomedov, round 2 TKO as the quick pick. We move on. Bryce Mitchell, like Jean Silva would say. Bryce Mitchell versus Said Nurmagomedov. Not a bad fight. Bryce is moving down to bantamweight. I actually like this move for Bryce Mitchell. We'll see how he looks on the scale, how he makes weight, but I think this is a good move for Bryce Mitchell. He's a little bit undersized at featherweight. He's been chinned a couple times. He's been subbed a couple times. This is a good move, but I do think it's a tough out because he's fighting Said Nurmagomedov, who has a nasty guillotine choke, a nasty ninja choke, where Bryce Mitchell just got subbed by Jean Silva with that guillotine choke, with that ninja choke, which was nasty, and Said wraps it up so freaking quick. I don't see Bryce Mitchell getting out of it. I really don't. Bryce Mitchell, he could be the better striker here, but I don't see it happening either. Said's kicks are nasty. His striking's nasty. Obviously, he lost his last fight to Vinicius Oliveira where he gassed out. He did, but he was kicking him early. He almost knocked out Vinicius Oliveira with a spinning back kick early in the fight. It was nasty. Landing really nice kicks on him early. His flexibility, his, what do you call it, man? His flexibility with his kicks are just nasty. They're really, really dirty. And I think he's going to land a kick on Bryce Mitchell, hurt him really bad. And I think Bryce is going to dive for the legs and get caught in that guillotine choke. Give me Said Nurmagomedov by round 2 guillotine choke. I just don't see Bryce Mitchell finding a path to victory here, even if he grapples. Even if he grapples, Said is going to be searching for that choke. He's going to be hunting for that choke the entire fight. Unless Bryce is training his neck like crazy, unless he's making sure that he's defensively sound when he gets into grappling exchanges with Said, I think Said's going to finish him, man, in round 2. And even with the kicks, he's going to be keeping Bryce at distance. His striking is going to be cleaner than Bryce. I just think Bryce doesn't really have too much going for him in this fight unless he can just genuinely stay safe in the grappling exchanges, which I don't see happening. So give me Said Nurmagomedov as the quick pick by round 2 guillotine choke, man. We move on to the next fight, Petr Yan versus Marcus McGhee. Very weird matchmaking by the UFC. Very weird matchmaking by the UFC. A lot of people are upset about this fight. But Petr Yan wants to stay active. Why is the UFC website glitching? Petr Yan wants to stay active. He wants to keep it going. He wants to keep the ball going, and he wants to eventually get on a nice streak so he can get that title shot again. I like that Petr Yan wants to be active here. And this is a good fight. It is a good fight, good matchup. Marcus McGhee will bring a fight to you. He's got good striking, clean striking, nice volume as well. We've seen him get some good wins back to back to back. He's on a 3-fight win streak now in the UFC. He fought Ilia Toptoro, finished him. He fought... who was it? Was it Adrian Yanez that he finished? I'm not 100% sure. And then coming off that last win against Jonathan Martinez, really nice win, displayed his striking abilities and his defensive abilities. So I think this is a good fight, and it's closer than people are going to put it. Obviously, Petr Yan is going to be a minus 500 favorite or some shit. Every single fight, this guy's a minus 500 favorite, basically. And I'm going to lean Petr Yan, obviously, because I'm not a retard, right? I'm not stupid. Petr Yan has some of the best striking in the division. Unless you're a chain wrestler or chain grappler, unless you can take Petr Yan down and hold him down, you are not going to win that fight, right? Back-to-back fights now, we've seen Petr Yan stuff the takedowns, be just the better striker, right? He just pieced up, oh my goodness, Figueiredo. He just pieced up Figueiredo, and he beat Song Yadong before that, right? So he's looked pretty good in his last 2. He's had some close split decisions. He got robbed by Sean O'Malley, in my opinion. You know, he obviously had a close fight with, who else was it? With Aljamain Sterling, and he DQ'd Aljamain Sterling. Like, some close stuff, right? Some bad stuff in his career where it just took a sharp turn left and it didn't go well for him. But Petr Yan is always still a good striker. He's getting better takedown defense now. Do I think he beats from Merab? No, I don't. I still think he gets 50-45, but does he beat Marcus McGhee? I think he does. I think he will have the better defense. I think he will land the better shots. He'll pick his shots better. I'm just a little worried that Marcus McGhee will have better volume and somehow squeeze away a split decision. I just don't want Petr Yan to leave this to the scorecards, but I do see that no finishing capabilities from Petr Yan. This is something that people don't seem to understand, is that Petr Yan is not a crazy finisher. He's not a crazy knockout artist anymore. Like, people used to look at Petr Yan, cleanest boxing, cleanest finishes. Like, he hasn't gotten a KO in years, and I don't see him having one here. I don't see him having that ability to find a finish over Marcus McGhee, who's very tough. But I do think Petr Yan will land the better shots, stuff the takedowns, drop Marcus McGhee, get his own takedowns, get his own trips. Petr Yan's trips are very clean, and I think he'll win on the judges' scorecards. 29-28, give me Petr Yan by decision. We move on to the co-main event, which is no longer the co-main event. Movsar Evloev versus Aaron Pico. The UFC website is just dog shit. This fight is no longer the co-main event. Movsar Evloev had to pull out because of some stupid injury. You already know. Aaron Pico called him out, said he wants to reschedule for UFC 319, which I think is a good idea. But they might keep Aaron Pico on this card. We don't know yet. We have no idea. I don't think they should, though, because this fight didn't even need to be on a fight night. Like, this is number 1 ranked Movsar Evloev versus Aaron Pico. Should Aaron Pico get this fight? No, but they're giving it to him because they hate Movsar Evloev, so it is what it is. But I mean, I'm going to obviously pick Movsar Evloev even if this fight gets rescheduled, but I think it will be rescheduled to UFC 319 in Chicago as the co-main event, which is good because 319 does need a co-main. So we will that fight's going to be moved. This fight should be moved. It should be moved, but early pick, obviously, I'm going to go Movsar if this gets rescheduled. But what I was saying before, I think they should just put Nikita Krylov versus Bogdan Guskov on the main card. It makes more sense. This is a fight night. They shouldn't even have a number 1 contender fight on a fight night. Like, what are we doing, right? They've already got so many ranked matchups here. Like, we don't need more. We don't need more. So put this on the main card. This could be the feature fight. This could be this could either be the feature fight or the main card opener. I don't mind, but we've got a bunch of rankings already on this card, so just put this one on the main card, take this fight, move it to 319. It makes sense. We move on though to the main event: Robert Whittaker versus Reinier de Ridder. A great main event. A great main event. I love this fight. I do. I really like this matchup. Robert Whittaker, he's talked before. He needs to fight the up-and-comers. He needs to take challenges. He needs to give people their opportunity to crack the top 5, and I respect that from Robert Whittaker. He's getting up there in age. He's 34, 35 years old now. He said he might have one more run in him if he can get this win next Saturday night, I should say. And we'll see what happens. But early pick, I'm going to go Reinier de Ridder. He's the next coming of DDP. We need Reinier de Ridder versus DDP in the next year, and I think it's going to happen. Whether DDP beats Hamzat or not, I think it's going to happen. Reinier de Ridder is on a nice streak right now. He beat GM3, sub GM3, sub Kevin Holland, and then he just knocked out Bo Nickel, who is an overhyped prospect who everybody picked, including myself, like a retard, like a straight retard. Why did I do that? I regret that every day of my life, honestly. And I doubted Reinier de Ridder, and he's that guy. He is that guy. His striking's improved. His grappling is top level. He's got, I don't even know how many submissions now. I think he's got over 18 submissions in his career. He's finished most of his fights. I think he's got an 85 to 90% finish rate. And Robert Whittaker is a tough dude, but he's getting up there in age. He's on a decline. I think Reinier de Ridder is going to have the grappling advantage. He's going to be smart. His game plans are good. His team has always had a good game plan, and I think he's going to grapple Robert Whittaker early. Does Whittaker have good takedown defense? Yes. Obviously, Hamzat Chimaev just has insane takedowns. So what do you expect when he's diving for your legs from fucking 10 feet away, right? But Reinier de Ridder, I think, will get in the pocket with Robert Whittaker, take him down at one point, and I think he will find a submission win over Robert Whittaker. Give me Reinier de Ridder by round 3 or round 4 submission. I think this fight will go into the later rounds. I think it will. Robert Whittaker's tough. He's still got good striking. I lack the idea of Robert Whittaker finding a finish. Sure, he finished that low-level Ikram Aliskerov like a year and a half ago as the main event, but that was Ikram. That was Ikram coming in short notice, flying to Abu Dhabi, like a week notice, and Robert Whittaker found the finish, but that was his first finish in like 5 years. I don't see him finishing Reinier de Ridder, which is the only path of victory I see for Robert Whittaker here, is if he finds a KO shot over Reinier de Ridder, which I don't see him doing. Reinier de Ridder's tough. He has been KO'd before, but I do think de Ridder's going to be safe enough. He's going to be more defensively sound than his past couple fights, and I think he's going to have a great game plan to come in here, grapple heavy with Robert Whittaker, tire him out, and find a submission by either rear naked choke or by arm triangle. I could see him getting it done by either or. Give me Reinier de Ridder by round 3 or round 4 submission, man. But those are all my quick picks, my quick predictions for this fight night. Stacked fight night, obviously, in Abu Dhabi. You love to see it, I guess. But we'll see how it goes, boys. If you guys did enjoy the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Drop it down in the comments what you guys think about this fight night, and I will catch you boys in the next one. See you.